Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brilmann. I'm joined here by Solari, and I'm very happy to be yet again back here at LFL 2021 Split.
Same here, actually. Hello, everybody. It's Larry speaking. Also, very happy to be back here. And today we have a very special game, which I've been really looking forward to witnessing. Because today we are yet again with Misfits Premiere, and they will be playing against Calming Cop. And we have seen already these two teams clash, and we remember that actually K-Corp were the first team to give Misfits Premier a really hard time to show them that they might consider being really careful with a crown on their heads, and they had to.
Just to adjust it a little bit, like, no, do not vote, do not
like,
vote.
Make sure it holds tight, okay? Yeah, but what is happening in the tournament table today is a very interesting split actually, because Misfits Premier are right now on the first place. They are 8-3, 8 wins, 3 losses. With the
finally back again.
Yes, finally back again, the sole winner of everything on the first place with 73% win rate, and Calming Copa on the 4th place with 7-4. Which means that if Misfits Premier win this game, they keep being the first ones and nobody can reach them. But if K-Corp win this game, the table will be switched in a very interesting way, because K-Corp will be 8-4, which means they will move to the 2nd place. But Misfits Premier will also be 8-4, which means that we will have actually 4 teams on the 1st place with the same score, 8-4, which will be Misfits Premier, Team BDS, which just won a game, I think. No, they just lost the game, I'm sorry, against Vitality B, who are also will be on the 1st place, and K-Corp. But we'll see how it ends, because we are at the bans and picks already. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Brilmann.
It's absolutely okay, because honestly speaking, it sounds like an absolute chaos in here in the tournament scoreboard, honestly speaking. And let's hope that the draft is not going to be a chaos as we look at it right now, and we see some really, well, let me put it this way, like, it's quite ordinary bans. I'm not really surprised with the ban of Senna neither, because some of you might be surprised about that, because, well, why would you want to ban Senna? But at the moment we have seen the combination played in the LEC, Senna and Cyan. Everybody just started to basically G2 have been really creative with their way how to play around Senna as an AD carry. So that's one of the AD carries that you really want to just take out of your game, because you don't really want to see this. And don't forget, we're at the patch 11.3 momentarily, with Viego being disabled from the game.
Yeah. At the same time, we have 2 first picks already in the game. K-Corp secure Rel for themselves, for Tagamas, and I love this pick. You know, I love Rel a lot. She's an extremely reliable champion with lots of control, with lots of engagement. At the same time, Misfits Premier secure with the first pick Azir for them, and that's the champion we see really frequently being played on the mid lane right now, because he is extremely powerful right now. He feels very good. And
but quite demanding.
Quite demanding, but if you're a good mid laner and you know how to play around this champion, there is just so many possibilities.
Oh, that is although a very interesting answer to that. Ryze is being answered with a very tanky move actually, and it's going to prove itself quite well against Azir, because of the way how can he farm on the lane.
Yeah, and at the same time there is Renekton, and we have seen it already in the last game of Misfits Premier. They had Renekton against them, and there were some really interesting moves between these two champions. I wonder what Misfits Premier will answer this with. Yes, I'm kind of expecting to see Aatrox.
I wouldn't be really surprised about that if that would be the case.
But first we see Schlatten playing again on Graves. Yeah, that's finally the good, because Udyr is actually banned from Misfits Premier side. Finally, we'll see Graves yet again in the game. I'm very excited for it.
That's actually pretty interesting to see him again playing on his champion, because we know that he loves playing on Graves, and that's just. Although my concern is that Team Misfits are already going with 2 very risky champions, because they can do a lot of damage. But in the same moment, they're quite, let's say, vulnerable to a very good engage. Yeah. Although it's not exactly the case for Azir, because of his Empress Divide. And, well, you could argue that Graves' collateral damage is also a way to get out from some kind of a tight spot, but still, it's not exactly the most of the safest pick. And Woolite is probably going to go with Aphelios because that's the champion he loves to play recently. That would mean that Jack Troll Aggressivo really needs to look for a sustainable top laner, and we might see one right now, actually.
Yeah, I hope that it's going to be a final pick. Yes, it is a final pick for Aggressivo.
This is actually very interesting. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work with a crocodile, though. Oh, you're going to have the same amount of sustain.
Yes.
Because you have your passive, which brings you an opportunity to heal every single time you're using some kind of your ability, and in the same moment that's going to give him, well, not the same, but quite enough sustainability to stand the laning phase with Renekton because of his healing. So seems to be like a good choice. Ashe in the same time being picked, probably as an answer to Aphelios.
Yeah, probably.
And that is actually a very good one.
That's a very good champion for a laning phase because of the amount of poke and the vision that she provides. She will not prove very useful later on in the team fights, but her ultimate control. Oh.
Dr. Mundo is joining the fray, and that is a very interesting pick against Schlapton's Graves, and I actually really like it.
Yeah.
Because he's going to sustain a lot more in the jungles than Graves. Yes, Aphelios is getting picked. That's what we all expected. Yeah. Nothing really surprising here. That's very interesting draft, honestly. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I'm looking at KC, and for some reason, I have a feeling that they have a little bit of a stronger draft here.
Yes, actually, yes. Just because I'm looking at Misfits Premiere at the same time, and I'm not exactly sure if they will have enough damage to kill everybody on K-Corp's side. Because K-Corp have engage, they have control a lot of it, actually. They have a lot of sustainability. So that's going to be pretty hard for Misfits.
More or less, I'm more thinking like how Misfits are going to try and play around with the fact that they have 3 basically glass cannons in there. Because you have Graves, you have Azzy, and you have Aphelios. Yes, I know that there's like at least 4. You could argue that there's 5, but let's say it's 4 very good ultimates for Team Misfits to turn around any kind of a team fight. Yes, that is correct. But in the same moment, we see 2 ultimates that can really provide you enough sustainability in the team fight from KC, which is Renekton's ultimate and Mundo's ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
That if they can provide you quite a lot of sustain in any kind of a team fight, and that will give them an opportunity to basically participate in that team fight a little bit longer than anybody else. And I'm not exactly sure how Azir and how Aphelios and how Graves is going to do well against Ashe's Crystal Arrow. And against the standard issue Rises combo, which can actually provide quite a lot of damage in case that Misfits are going to group.
Yeah. I don't see there was any cleanse taken from Misfits Premiere side, and considering how much control they're going to be faced with, that might prove to be a little bit hard for them. And also, I think that we will see K-Corp Adam to play pretty much as aggressive usually plays, especially when he's on Renekton, just to go flank the enemy team, because he has a perfect opportunity to go into that Woolite, into that Schlaran, and just disintegrate anything as is.
I mean, Renekton's dominance is going to be a very big problem for Team Misfits, because same as you have to basically fight with Mundo, which is a very, let me say, uncomfortable thing to play against before you go into grievous wounds. You actually have to worry about 2 of those ultimates, because you have Mundo's sadism, and in the same moment you have Dominus that is going to prove quite a problem, because Renekton's healing a lot, and Mundo Syncroft is healing quite a lot of damage as well.
Yeah.
And that gives a lot of opportunity for Seiken and Xmatic to just burst Team Misfits with damage, and they don't really have to worry about Gragas, and they don't really have to worry about Jacktroll neither, basically, because we have seen Jacktroll to play on Alistar. He's an extremely good support, but we know that Alistar is not exactly his most reliable pick.
Yeah, he would much better probably look here playing exactly Rel, which was taken as a first
or at
pick
least Leona.
Or at least Leona, yes. Oh, look at this Rel just going in. That's what I love to see. The aggression from actually the very first
and just
level.
look at it. Jackstraw might be already dead. That is, the Ignite is being popped on him, but he's not going to die because he's going to use a health potion. And Jackstraw almost gave the first block to Team KC. That was a statement if I've ever saw one.
Yeah, that was a statement. There was actually even a flash burn of Jackstraw just to try to get away from that amount, from that aggression coming from K-Corp, and that's exactly how you play Rel. That's why I love this champion. She allows you so much aggression, and it's sometimes hard to punish her.
It seemed quite impossible to punish her right now, and especially looking at that Ashe, she's just. I don't even know what to say about that. The only thing I can. That's basically the sound how the arrows just went into the Jackstraw.
Yeah.
Just in there. And we have some absolutely immediate pause here right now. I suppose there's some kind of a lag going on. Probably some kind of a connection.
I think our French colleagues are just going, wow!
I can't judge them.
Yeah.
I really can't judge them. Because, well, I mean, what was that?
A lot of damage, my friend. A lot of damage. Very aggressive moves. Actually, usually when you see Rel playing on the bot lane, you expect her to just go all in into you as soon as she hits level 2, because that's when she spikes with her control, with her engage.
Because of the double control in there.
Yeah, because W and E together, mwah, that's just so good. But they weren't even waiting for it, because Rel took W first, and then
well, apparently they didn't have to. Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking at this way. I'm looking at the way how this level 1 change have played in there. That wasn't even a trade. That was almost a straight up kill.
Yeah,
and
almost.
I mean, if I was Schlatten, I would really like just go, okay, bot lane, thank you very much. Have a nice day. I'm not coming. Just, order yourself another taxi service. I'm going.
Yeah, maybe in this situation he would rather try to focus on the mid lane to try to boost Azir as much as possible, because probably that's the champion I would have my bets on in this combination.
I would actually try. I'm going to try and elaborate on your thought right here, because thinking about it, I've been giving a lot of praise to KC because of the draft, but now I'm going to give quite a praise to Team Misfits for the draft. Why? I don't know if that was intentional or not. I really don't know, but let's hope it was. But actually, Asia is so good against that team combination because of the very, very easy reason. If you can fish for an Empress Divide on Ashe and on Rise, that will leave Team KC without quite a big of a chunk of damage.
Yeah, especially Rise.
Well, I mean, also AD carry. Well, if you remove AD carry from the game, and we know that in the current meta, AD carries are really, really powerful. If you remove that sort of a pressure leverage on your team, that's going to make your way going, well, through the enemy team quite easier. The only thing, though, you have to fish for it. And with the fact that both Ashe and both Rise are going to be surrounded by 3 really chunky tanks, makes this task much more harder to do than it seems, on the first look.
And don't forget about that one small thing, which is Rise Ultimate.
Yeah, the Realm Warp also. Yeah. My only hope is that it's not going to be used the same way it was used by Caps at LEC. Because when I remember that Realm Warp into the Baron's pit and the only person who actually went in there was Caps, it's not exactly the way you want to use that ultimate. Also, considering that we also have Renekton in this game as well, I hope we're not going to see teleports like Wonder did, because in this case, I apologize in advance for bursting into laughing. Because the moment he teleported in that game, actually against Misfits, which is very interesting, because, well, it was a different Misfits, it was a Misfits Premiere, but it was Misfits Gaming, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose.
Misfits is
But
Misfits.
the moment... I'm sorry?
Misfits? Yeah.
Yeah, Misfits there, it doesn't really make a difference. But you know, the moment Wanda hit that teleport and just instantly flashed out of the way,
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself but laugh with quick shot.
Yeah. That was. I mean, he survived. He lived. I guess that's what matters.
He lived to fight another day. That is true. Burning
Yes,
both
yes.
of his summoners in a second. Well, finally we're back in the game.
Not.
I don't
much
know what
to
was the technical issue, but I hope it's been solved right now, and I hope that this almost level 1 first blood was only because of some malfunction of Jack Troll's technique, because otherwise I don't have anything that's going to excuse him from that thing.
Yeah, Jack Troll, be
Schlatten
careful,
might be a
they
little bit of a
weren't-
problem right now because
not
Sinkoff
even
is taken.
aware. Oh.
Already there. This comes the root. That comes, well, it's not really that much of a damage. Has to burn his... Well, 2 flashes are being burned from KC. They're going to try and chase it. Almost.
Oh!
Yes, that is the first blood with an amazing axe being thrown on to Schlatten, and Certus manages to get away with his life, even though Adam was here to try and help him. Also, Tagamas is there. That was just sniping hook from Syncroft. Oh, sorry, hook axe.
Yeah, that was a beautiful axe. I loved it so much. Just sniping exactly as you said. But here you can see actually the Certus is a little bit too late to join the fray. That's why Schlatten has to flash, and then everybody actually has to flash. So at least here that's a fair trade. But then boom, and Schlatten is gone. What a beautiful first blood.
If you wanted to see a representation of a headshot in League of Legends, that was a headshot.
You don't even need Caitlyn for this. Mundo is
Caitlyn, no, I'm sorry, girl. Just move yourself a little. We have a king of headshots right now. I'm sorry.
Look actually at those 2 pink wards in one bush. I love it.
Oh, but that happens when you just don't really say it and you just go, I'm going to ping that. How many times did it happen in solo queue with you and me when we just randomly ward the same bush at the same place?
A lot. But that doesn't actually matter. Let's get back to the game next time we talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about our solo queue experience next time. I'm sorry, that's not the case right now. And actually, looking at it, I'm thinking about... I'm really rather interested if... because Casey right now have established control over the Summoner's Rift quite nicely. Yeah. Because if you think about it, that was a very good pressure leverage onto Schlatten. And you really want this, because Schlatten isn't a controllable beast, let me put it this way. If he's going to be unaddressed, not taken care of in the precise time, then that is a beautiful manifestation of your lanes being ganked just 24/7.
Yeah. That's true.
And right now, we know it perfectly well that now he knows that this Mundo is there. This Mundo is ready to fight, and we are going to see probably some kind of an answer from Misfits. But look at it, because of the rune, or is it? I think it is. I think that's a bit. Yes, he has a rune that gives him a bit of a momentum speed. I'm talking about Rise over here. They can't even catch him.
Yeah. They try though, but they can't, and that is actually going to be a very early dragon going to kick Hope. And I don't really think that Misfits Premiere are going to stop it, because Schlatten...
Look at the pings though. Look at the pings, because I have a feeling that Schlatten is going to try and answer that with a gank onto top lane. Might not be true though.
Might not be, but he might actually try. Though I think that Adam will be prepared, because it's pretty obvious if enemy jungler doesn't come to stop you from taking Drake.
Look at the minimap though. Look at the minimap. Schlatten might be in a very bad position right now. He's again taking that crab. Has to smite him in the meantime, trying to get away, but Syncroft is already... That's a root going... Oh my god! That is sadism propped on Syncroft. Also, a Realm Warp, and that is a second kill from Syncroft on Schlatten. Talk about being safe in your jungle. Aggressivo might be in a very tight spot over here right now as well. 3 members of KC are already there. Aggressivo is trying to hide behind his tower, although probably not going to be enough. He's trying to heal. He's trying to get himself some kind of a sustainable, but skill shots are just flying on them. That is an explosive cast trying to gain some control over the situation. But the dive was successful, and that is already a 3rd kill for Team KC.
Team KC are feeling really good right now, and you can see that that's pretty much what we've seen in the last clash of these two teams, punishing Schlaran as much as possible in his own jungle.
And look at him!
River.
He just stole his red buff!
That's what I'm talking about, punishing Schlaran, saying, hey, no, you are not farming.
I'm sorry, you don't need it. I'm going to take it. Thank you very much. See you later.
That's going to be mine. Thank you very much.
And just look at it. That's just straight BM, though. That's just straight BM.
Not too nice, but we'll take it.
I think there's probably even going to be some more action in the mid lane here. Whoa, that is a Crystal Arrow, not finding that target, though, as it misses Surtus, but almost an... Oh, look at the damage! Look at the damage on Jack Troll! Almost went away. We're not even 10 minutes into the game, and Jack Troll was just annihilated by Team KC. And well, they're going to try and fight for that Herald, although that is a missed position. If you ask me, from Team Misfits, it looks like KC are going to take that Herald without being contested. Seiken going to be not even caught right here because of the route from Rice, as he's basically doing 1v3 and succeeding at that.
Succeeding at that, though he had to burn his flesh.
Oh, look at this, Woolite and Xmati, that's a duel. And that is a flash burn on Xmati as he has to go away. And at the same time, Schlatten using his collateral damage to try and get away from his chasers. It manages to do that though, as Jack Troll and both Schlatten uses his Lash of the Wall to try to get away from the KC, but KC are on the chase. Dominus is being propped. That is a stun on Schlatten, and he's propped and popped by Schlatten just right in the middle of the eye. Syncroft is going to flank. That is a move if I've ever seen that. That's some tactical League of Legends. Bullmalik is also going down, as that is 5-2-0 from KC, and they're establishing their lead onto the Summoner's Rift.
We are not even 10 minutes into the game yet, and we're already 5-0, and I don't even recall any game that went so...
Gold check 2,000 difference.
Yeah, which is a lot actually inside early minutes of the game.
Yeah, congratulations to Slatten, he took his blue buff. That's a good thing.
Yeah, at least this, but actually you can see how nervous Misfits Premiere are feeling right now on their map, because they were moving around the map, they got punished for it, they were staying in the lanes, they got punished for it too, so now you can really see that they are really nervous about this clash, about
and if
this
you
power.
Ask me, you can't judge them.
Yeah.
Because think about it, KC are moving around the map in the very same way Misfits went around the map in the very first game they have clashed together. That is their second and, well, the last one in the double Robin part, in the group stage of this tournament. And it's just very clear, at least to me, if I'm wrong, just please correct me on that, but if you ask me, that's what it is about, to do your homework. Because right now, KC seem to have done their homework. I'm not exactly sure that I have pronounced this phrase right, but I don't really care. And, you know, they have established the very same control over the map how Misfits did in their very first game.
Yeah, that's true. And you can see that they're implementing some tactics that actually worked for other teams who were clashing with Misfits Premier and who were winning against them. So it's picking Schlaran as early as possible and as much as possible, and then trying to focus on the mid lane, and then also taking as many objectives as possible, because you know, if Misfits Premier are not succeeding in taking kills, they will go for dragons and they will go for heralds especially, and that's where they got caught last time, almost caught actually, but they lost the herald in the end.
And also, don't forget that you don't have to let Woolite farm as much as you can.
Yes,
although I don't really, but it doesn't really seem to be like a problem right now. That is a second Drake for KC. That means there's going to be an Inferno Drake. The next Drake is going to be a Cloud Drake. That means that we're going to have a Cloud Soul onto 22nd minute into the game, in case Misfits are not going to contest any of that dragons.
In case Misfits Premier are not going to do something, because right now they're falling behind heavily. Look at Jack Troll.
Look at the Unbreakable Will. Jack Troll has to use his ultimate in order to get away from Seiken right now. That is a lot of damage coming from that Rise, or even not receiving his first full item yet. Well, discounting the boots.
Yeah, discounting the boots. But look at Mundo actually in the meantime. He already has his chem tank, and that is going to be a huge problem for Misfits Premier.
Just imagine the speed with sadism and that.
Because apart from the damage, there's going to be a lot of speed
and
coming
the Herald
from the
is being
Yeah.
propped in the mid lane, which is very interesting decision to me, because you really rather want to hold onto your and Seiken didn't even receive any gold plates. That's
I think it was
odd.
kind of running out already. I unfortunately haven't checked the timing of the Heralds, but I think he was running out already.
But Seiken could have been just a little bit more, well, close to it in order to get some
Yeah.
turret plates, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever suits you, Casey, whatever suits you.
Whatever suits you. I actually also wanted to say that I'm just thinking about it, but the combination of Rel and Mundo together is extremely powerful, especially with a chem tank on Mundo and the E from Rel being on him. That is going to be so much control from
No,
nowhere.
I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go on. I just finished.
No. I was going to interrupt you because I thought there was going to be some action, but Misfits have learned their lesson and just immediately withdrawn from the fight.
Yeah, just running
Just
away and
tactical retreat. What does that mean?
Yes,
we run away, but with dignity. Okay, fine, and just running away with dignity.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most logical thing they can do right now. They're in no position to fight. They're just losing at everything so far, and they can't really have a good straight up 5v5 fight, even less.
Ooh, that is a crystal arrow, but Unbreakable Will is also popped on Jack Troll and Xmati in a little bit of a problem right now. Moonlight Strike, although not finding any target, and it seems like Xmati is going down. Collateral damage from Schlatten. That means, yes, Xmati is going down, but Tagamas is going to be able to escape the fight probably, as Misfits are not going to continue. Even the teleport from Certus being burnt as they're going to do nothing about it.
To withdraw, but they took a kill, even though it took one teleport and a lot of action from everybody on the bot lane. They still took a kill, and that's something they really needed. They just need to try to get back on the track somehow. And getting one kill, even if you sort of do a raid boss thing to get it, it still works. It just helps.
Well, Xmati was in a bit of a misposition right now because he was quite hard pushing the lane, knowing that Targamas wasn't really that close to help him, and it took 3 members of Team KC to take Matty down, although Targamas was able to escape with his life, although only barely, because if Misfits were trying to be greedy, they could have potentially taken Targamas down as well, but probably that would have been 2 for 1, which is not exactly what you want to fish for.
Yeah, that's not exactly what they want in their position. They just want to take the guaranteed kills and get away and try to do it as much as possible. That's kind of the only thing they can do right now, and try to steal the objectives, which you kind of saw them lurking a little bit around the Herald, but not actually.
Is that a second Herald? It is a second Herald, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think...
It's probably going to be hold until the dragon is going to come up in the same moment as we have 1 minute before the Drake. I just want to really fastly draw your attention to the itemization, because the first mythic item, or well, basically the first item, the only mythic item bought by Aggressivo was Chem Tank. And now I'm not... Oh, Certus! Certus in a bit of a problem right now, has to burn Flash. And just speaking about pressure, if you want to put it somewhere in the book, in the encyclopedia, this is pressure.
Yes, this is pressure basically in every point of the game, with the vision, with the presence, with the damage, with the kills, objectives, everything. That's pressure everywhere, and that's a good one. Exactly, executed by book.
And I'm just going to really, really fastly draw your attention back, in case no action is going to happen. Chem Tank, like, am I the only person who's a little bit confused?
Maybe, but elaborate on your point.
I mean, you don't really want to engage into KC right now because they're in a much more stronger position. Wouldn't it be better to just go with some kind of a good old tank itemization and just try to be as beefy as it is possible to help your team sustain and let others do some damage? Although you might argue that this is a tool for an explosive cask on Xmati or either Seiken, but I don't really know if that's going to work that well.
I think they want to build Jack Troll into a full tank and then try to do something else with Aggressivo, but I'm not... I have to agree with you, I'm not exactly sure if this is going to work in this specific game. And actually, in the meantime, while you were talking about your revision of the itemization, the third dragon goes to Cake Hope. And they
Not
are
only
one break away
Dragon,
from
but
Soul.
also one tower in the bot lane. And
Yep.
it seems like Woolite might be going down as well right now. Uses his cleanse, the only cleanse that actually Team Misfits do have in
And
the
his
team in order
flash.
to get away, and burns his flash.
Oh,
That's both.
Schlatten.
Oh,
Oh,
Schlatten
Schlatten.
being mispositioned in here yet again. Has to burn his collateral damage in order to get away from the fray. Aggressivo joins the fight. Explosive Cask just dismantles everybody around. Has to burn his flash in order to get away from the fight. Satan's being propped on Syncop. Also burns his flash. Going to chase Aggressivo down. But Misfits are trying to withdraw as fast as they can. Dominus being propped, and that is a lot of control going on to Schlatten as he's killed as well. Certus is during the fray probably going to try and fish for some kills, but no, he decides to withdraw, and KC are going away from that fight with next to kills.
Incredible, actually. They got 2 kills from Misfits Premiere. Nobody from K-Corp was killed in there. And you could see actually Woolite and Jacktroll, who just joined the fray a little bit later, just being a little bit hesitant about either joining the fray or not, because they could clearly see that there was a no-go. You gain nothing from joining. Right now, K-Corp was just too strong. But then finally Jacktroll decides to go to just save maybe Schlatten, but no, too much control coming from the Renekton, from the Trail, from basically everybody. And no,
And the
Schlatten
damage
goes
from
down.
Rise.
Yes.
And that is a Luden as the first item for Rise. Honestly speaking, I'm this type of a very strange person who builds Omniwamp on him. I'm very strange, I know that, but I don't really care. But
We don't
Ludens
judge.
is the thing that's going to provide an extreme lot of damage on that Rise, and also with that Herald in the mid lane. Team Misfits look very, very desperate right now to me. Aggressivo uses his explosive cask in order to try to save himself from Syncroft. Manages to do that because he went under that tower, but it seems like KC are not exactly done yet.
Yeah, they are still fishing for some more kills, and they might be able to take them, because actually, building up on your point, Rice doesn't need so much Omnibump in this game right now, just because he is never in the middle of the fray. He has so many tanky champions in his team.
That was, I'm very sorry, but that was an ultimate. Oh, that was a replay. Oh, that was a replay. I'm very sorry. That was a replay because I thought like there's some very interesting ultimate going on from Rise. That warp went nowhere, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But apparently that is a replay. I'm very sorry.
Actually, I also have to point out one thing. K-Corp are much better at wording the map right now than Misfits Premiere. Misfits Premiere are trying to keep up, but you can see that sometimes K-Corp just surprised them. Like many times Schlatten was caught. Might be
no, I'm sorry.
Not yet, not
KC
yet.
might have been caught in here, but well, just look at Syncroft. He's just going there. He's not caring. I'm standing here, and you can't really do anything about me.
That's Mundo. That's how this champion works.
And 2 stopwatches for Team KC. They're really looking forward into that fight, and I have a feeling that it might be a Baron fight right after the soul, or they're going to try and secure that soul for them. If I was Team Misfits, I would have actually at least tried to fight for that soul, but in the same moment, I'm thinking about it, that's a 5,000 gold difference between the teams. That is an extreme amount of gold. And you don't really want to go into an open fight with KC right now, because you're definitely going to lose it.
Yeah. So it needs to be something else. It shouldn't be an open fight. It needs to be something sneaky, something from behind, something flanking somebody, picking them one by one. That's what could save Mrs. Premiere.
And you have to fish for Saken and Xmati, because you are not able to kill Tincroft. You're not able to kill Adam. And he's going to showcase you exactly that. Look at it. The only presence of this, well, I wanted to say green, but he's not green, he's red, but it doesn't really matter, of Mundo just brings horror into Schlatten. It's just like, no,
thank you. Actually, you can see Misfits are building some grievous wounds on them, but I don't think right now that's enough to stop that machine.
I see 2 grievous wounds and also 1 anti-tank item on Certus, on Azir.
Yeah.
Which is, it's okay-ish. Oh, Schlatten tries to... Oh, that is a dragon in the same moment. That is a cloud soar for Team KC, and they are going into the fray. That's Crystal Arrow being missed, although the ultimate brings Seiken and Adam, and Woolite is just instantly deleted from the map. Certus is being caught in here by Adam, but manages to slip away from his hands because of the opportunity that he has on his hands right now. Schlatten is trying to escape from KC and manages to do so just under the nose of KC, but that is not going to be enough because KC are looking for that Baron. They're looking to take that dragon. They're going to do that regardless what they think. That is an Emperor's Divide. Not going to do quite a lot, though. Explosive cast, quite a good one. Seiken going down, but going into the stopwatch, not down, and the Baron's been reset. In the same time, we have some more action. Adam is going down, but Jacktroll is going down much more faster. Certus has to flash away in order to save his life, but not going to do that. Aggressive is the only man standing. That is not exactly correct. Schlatten is also here going to try and probably do something about it, but Syncroft is going to actually reset that Baron because he has sadism being ready for him. That is 4 members of KC able to fight again. That is aggressive. Guilting in there. Adam was almost dead. In the same time, Schlatten also has to go away in order not to die in her. Flash is still available. Smite is not really that far either. That means that Team Misfits Premiere can go for their steal. The aggressive trying to fight. Seiken going in there, making Schlatten just disappear. And Xmat is going down, but Woolite is going down as well. In the same time, aggressive almost dead already. Adam just wreaking havoc single-handedly, taking down Certus and taking down that tower, and that is a long fight for that dragon, but in the end of the day, goes for Team K Corp.
One correction, that was Baron, but still.
That was Baron, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. That was a long fight. Almost everybody in K-Corp side got it, except for Xmari, unfortunately. But small, very small, but kudos to Misfits Premiere for actually resetting the Baron once, but unfortunately, they just don't have enough damage.
Seiken almost died.
Yeah, Seiken almost died. If not for that beautiful stopwatch he just bought in his last back before the Baron, he would have been dead. Same actually for Xmari. I think he also had to go golden there.
I'm not exactly sure, but yes, he did win golden, although a little bit prematurely. I don't really think that was that important. But on the other hand, you're giving kudos to Team Misfits. I'm looking at Team KC. They're on fire.
Yes,
they're really on fire because that was a showcase of your domination on the map, because that was 2 consecutive tries of taking that Baron, and one of them, well, failed in... Whoa, in the meantime, look at it. Schlatten being caught yet again. That's a first crystal arrow that I see on the Summoner's Rib by Xmati to hit the target. And what an arrow it is. Going down in a brutal fashion. Schlatten is going down in the base yet again. In the same time, they're going to try... Misfits are going to try to fight with Syncroft, but that is sadism being propped. And look at the healing. Never mind your grievous wounds. I am healing as much as I want. Misfits have to try and defend 2 sides of their base simultaneously. They have their backs against the wall as KC are continuing their siege right now, and the Death Star is going down. Tagamas burning his Hex Flash, going in there. That is a first kill, although Syncroft has to go away in order not to die. That is a second kill for Team KC. 2 members of Misfits are down already and left with 3 members right now. Woolite has to go back to the base in order to try and regenerate some HP. But KC are not stopping on that. They might end the game right now. Certus with a beautiful Emperor's Divide, but that is Seiken's Zhonya's being propped, and Woolite is also going down. No, I'm sorry, not Woolite, rather Schlatten is going down. Jacktroll joining the fray. Are they going to try to do something about it? Can they do anything about it? Probably not, as KC are taking down the Nexus. And Realm Warp is bringing Tagamas onto the enemy base.
Wow.
That was brutal.
That was a bloodbath. That was a bloodbath. And we've seen some before, but this one was just straight up beating the enemy team from the very beginning and right straight to their Nexus.
Seemed like, remember Bob? Like they use in some sort of a sparring, like karate, taekwondo, just this mannequin Bob. It felt like Misfits are this Bob right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had the same feeling today. Today, that wasn't really a showcase from Misfits, not even close to it. K-Corp were just dominating from the very beginning, and they were not letting Misfits take anything from them.
Everything was secured. All the towers, all the dragons, all the barons, all the heralds, basically.
Yeah.
Everything was secured.
Yeah.
And that is brutal. And honestly speaking, KC have done an extreme well job on their teamwork. Oh, teamwork. I'm sorry, on their homework.
And that too.
Because their teamwork as well, but the homework itself. Because the way how they prepared onto that fight with Misfits, and the way they executed their fight with Misfits, that was really good.
Yeah, they actually, you could see they knew where exactly to catch Sladen in the jungle, when he would be at his crabs, when to go there and catch him.
How, and how well would Certus be able to actually react on this? And even though we have seen in the very last brief moments of the fights that that's just exactly, I've been talking about the Emperor's Divide, just picking off the target and bringing him to his, demise. Seiken, he ruled this out because of his stopwatch and then Zhonya's.
Yeah. But to be fair, I had a feeling that the game was pretty much won for K-Corp from the draft phase.
Yes.
We have to be fair. We talked about it during the picks. The picks of K-Corp were just much stronger in general. More control, more sustainability, more damage in the end.
I have a feeling that Misfits just went with higher risk. Like, if we succeed with our bet, we're going to just snowball through our enemy. If we don't, this is going to be quite a hard of a fight to pull off. I
had a little bit different feeling, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I have a feeling that they decided to go with their most comfort champions, the ones they're most comfortable with, but at the same time, they kind of ignored the team composition and the picks of their opponents. They just went with what they wanted to play, with what they felt would be the best for them to play. But sometimes you need to make other choices.
But we have seen Gragas from Aggressor, and I can't really say that was the best Gragas I've ever seen in my entire life.
That confuses that ruins my theory a little bit.
And a little bit Alistair, because you could go with Leona.
Yeah.
You could really go with Leona.
I would say Leona against Trail is not exactly the best option, to be fair.
It's not the best option, but if you think about it, neither is actually Alistair, is it?
Yeah.
Well, it gives you an opportunity to escape from some kind of a control after you hit level 6, but, I don't really know how much of a safe combination it is in that exact team composition. Actually, Lulu might have worked quite well in here.
Yeah.
Because of the Aphelios Lulu combo we've seen quite a lot of time.
Yeah, that easily could have been a stronger combination than... And overall, Jaxra on Alistair doesn't seem as confident as he is on some other champions, to be fair. So my theory only works for 50%.
It doesn't shine the way Leona shines.
Yeah, Leona, Aurel, both of them are good in his hands. Yeah.
Well, that's it, folks, I suppose.
Yeah, but actually...
This analyzing of this game onto you. We're going to pass it on to you. What were your thoughts about this game? We're going to be very happy if you would leave us your comment about this game. Also, if you would be very happy, if you were happy with the way we have shoutcasted this game for you, we would be very happy if you would have left a like for us.
Yeah.
In case you don't, write us in the comments why didn't you like it. My name is, was, still will be, it doesn't really matter, Brilmann. Your name is, still will be, doesn't matter, Solari.
Yeah.
And we will see you in the next game.
We will, definitely. Thank you very much for joining us today, people. Bye.